Did you know Seedance 2.0 was powered by Dola Seed 2 Pro? Model as agent. Multilingual capabilities. Granular scene control. Multimedia reference input. And strong visual grounding. Powered by Dola Seed 2 Pro.
Hi, we are ByPlus, a ByteDance company providing the world's class AI models. My name is Bojie. I'm from the solution team.
Hi, this is Ron. I'm from the product team.
Ron, today we have something exciting to share with the world, right?
Yes.
The new model we are releasing today, called the Dola Seed 2.0, our best-in-class language model, will be marking the multimodal leap today. Let's have a look. Back in February, we released the world's best video generation model called the Seedance 2.0. But many people didn't know that the language model behind powering the decision-making at the brain is actually the Seed 2.0 model. Why don't we share more details about the models today?
Yeah, when we use the Seedance 2.0, we reference the image and reference the video. We can see the model can very well understand the image and the video and do very well to when we generate the video, the reference are used very well.
Yeah, I think in this demo, we can clearly see that as example, if we have a non-grid image as input, we can actually restore the details of all these characters, the objects, the environment, and even the lighting with high fidelity. This is actually thanks to the vision understanding capability of the language model. But there are more of that, right? I think we're also talking a lot about the language model having the reasoning capability.
Yes.
And why don't we kind of share more about how it acts as a director for the narrative planning as well?
Yeah, exactly. So when the model as a director, when we do a very simple prompt, and it's actually we need to generate a storyboard, and the narrative planning will help like model to get the really good prompt to generate the video.
Yeah, and I think many of us are not really a director, so it's really cool to have the language model to take over the task, right? But also I think, Ron, like last time we mentioned about this, right? When we have a good story, but how do we actually write enough details, right, to kind of render the story well and in a really like real manner for people to get a really interest in it?
Yeah, so we give the model a character as a director. So he perform as a director. He will write a pretty good prompt, like the camera motion and the lighting set, and also the character movement. So those good of the prompt will enhance the original prompt.
And also, what if like I have the model today? What if I want to create something that's very new? I probably want to create something that's just from the latest news. Like, how am I able to do that?
Yeah, so model also have the agentic behavior. So it can use the tool use, like the web search tool. So based on the web search tool, he can get the newest news and generate the content we mentioned.
That's pretty cool. But of course, the model itself, we've made it not just for AIGC tasks, right? What's the secret behind what are the reasons, right? We've decided to make such a great model today.
Yeah, currently, like a lot of the model can do really high in competition tasks. Also, like it do very well in the math exams. But for the real world task, there still have the big gap. So when we build our C 2.0, we would like the model can solve the real world problems. So for the real work, it takes many steps. You have to like plan and act and adjust your actions. So for some model, maybe they cannot like keep on the track of the step by step. Another part of the issue is in the real world problem, the model need to know the industry know-how. Then he can solve the real-world industry level problems.
Interesting. So basically, we are seeing the two courses as you mentioned, right? One is that the model needs to be able to handle long horizon tasks with many, many steps, right? And second is that it needs to carry some of the long tail knowledge in order to deal with the real world situation. If we take a look at these problems, right, we actually would be categorizing the real world tasks into 3 domains that we want to solve with the latest model released today.
Yeah, so C 2.0 is not just a model, it's also agent for the real-world complexity. So there is 3 highlights we will mention today. One is the vision language model excellence. Second is the computer use breakthrough. Third one is the long horizontal agentic capability.
Why don't we start with the vision part first? I think that's also what we have already seen just now in the video generation work as well, right? What are some more examples we can do with vision understanding?
Yeah, let me show you guys a demo. So there is a simple prompt and another screenshot from a website. So we want to turn a single image into an awesome web page.
So basically, we're trying to quickly understand from the image reference, right, to do the visual understanding. And then the model will start kind of do the deep thinking, reasoning, based on the intention from the prompt. And then what's next?
Exactly. So model after understand all the intention from the user, then start to writing the HTML code, and then we will get the result of the
Oh, that's cool.
page. Yeah.
So why don't we play a bit with the website here?
Yeah, sure. So let me scroll down to see how it looks like.
So I can see that the web is pretty responsive, right?
Yeah.
Just from a very quick prompt and a simple image reference. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, also we can see it's a pretty good taste on the color, on the setup, right?
Yep. It's pretty developer kind of oriented design. But also we think that vision is not only for static image understanding. Why don't we look at something that's more motion related and more dynamic?
Sure. This is another example. The girl go to the gym, but she doesn't have the training coach today, and he asked the model to be her training coach.
That's an interesting one because it's actually pretty real time, where the person itself is trying to ask how she should be using the machine, right? How fast and slow should be moving the machine, and whether the weight is actually appropriate. The model is actually able to not only tell what she's doing, but also carry the long tail knowledge about the fitness side, right?
Exactly.
And tell her, like your movement is actually good, right? And you should not add on, but you should not add on additional weights because it's gonna be too much for her.
So model first understand the environment where she is, and then understand what she is doing, then give her the instruction to help her.
Yeah. I think this is another even more sophisticated kind of exercise, right? Like the Russian rotation. And I think from the demo, I can see that the model is trying to tell the lady like she should be lay back for a bit more, like to the 45-degree, and try to feel her muscle, the muscle tension, right, when she's trying to do the movement. And it's pretty interesting because it's actually like acting like a real coach, but we never really consider it as like just train the model just for the fitness purpose.
Yeah, so the model can understand the body motions, and so that's why some embodied robotic AI companies use our model to do VLM tasks.
Cool, yeah. And what about the vision understanding capability also used in like science and technology field?
Yeah, there is another example. So here is a chat understanding and the reconstruction from the coding. So we show the pictures and the chat to the model and do simple prompt, ask it use the Python code to reconstruct the 3D model.
Let's take a look.
So model get the prompt and start writing the Python code, then finally get the 3D model.
So basically now we are able to interact with the 3D the 3D space being reconstructed and play with it, right?
Exactly.
Which is thanks to the model's capability from both vision and also writing the code eventually.
Yeah, so a model from the image understand what's the function behind the image and restrict from the code. So it's like step-by-step agentic workflow.
That's cool. And today we also have one of our key partners, TinyFish AI. Why don't we give time to them to also show us more demo of using Seed 2.0 model in the browser agent use case?
Sure.
That's good. Let's give time to them.
When your AI agent is doing work on the web, there are two places where your money goes. The model, every time it reasons about what to do next, as well as the execution layer. And that's where every page, when it loads, every action it decides to take. Now, most people optimize the model and ignore what it's actually doing the work on the web itself. And TinyFish is the web agent that handles execution, navigating pages, interacting with sites, and getting things done. And Seed 2.0 sits on top as the reason layer, deciding on what to do next. And today, I want to show you what happens when you pair a highly efficient reasoning model with a web agent built from the ground up for performance. And we're going to run two real tasks, and you will see the cost and time difference live. Now, let's calculate Meta's debt to equity ratio using figures from its 2025 fiscal year 10K filing from sec.gov. And that's a multi-step research task. The agent had to navigate a government website, find the right filing, read a financial document, and do a calculation. On a standard browser setup, passing the raw page content to the model itself means thousands and thousands of tokens of noise. Now instead, TinyFish parses the page into a structured semantic representation first. The model only sees what it actually needs to answer the question. And the same answer, significantly fewer tokens. Get a quote for an Amtrak vacation for two adults traveling across country, leaving Chicago on April 22nd. Now, this one is a harder class of tasks. It's not just simply retrieving what's on a page. It's actually navigating a real booking flow, making selections across multiple pages, filling in structured form data, the kind of thing that would typically break an agent on long-tail websites. Now, Tinyfish Web Agent handles the navigation reliably, and because we're only sending the model a clean structured view of each page state rather than a full screenshot or HTML dump, the reasoning and execution stays tight and effective. And while the accuracy is comparable, the cost is not. Seed 2.0 is already some of the most token-efficient frontier models we've tested internally. It actually reasons well with less context. Tinyfish ensures the context it receives is clean and compact to begin with. And if you're running agents at any meaningful volume, that gap compounds fast. On average, we see around 50 to 60% token cost saving, making any task you run much more efficient. And so to recap, Seed 2.0 is genuinely one of the most token-efficient models we've run these tasks through. And that's not just a small thing. When you're operating at enterprise scale, efficiency at the model layer compounds. And if you pair that with browser and web agent infrastructure that's custom built to reduce what the model even needs to see to perform, and you get a combination that's hard to beat on cost without giving up anything on accuracy. If you're building production level agents and haven't looked at Seed 2.0 yet, this is a good reason to start to.
Cool, we are back now. We have seen cool demos, but how do we stand in terms of benchmarking our model in terms of various vision tasks?
So let's show the vision benchmarks. So we have the different category for the vision benchmarks. First is for reasoning. So our model is very good to understand the math STEM language and to solve the real world problem. So in the visual reasoning and the perceptions, our model has a pretty high, like C 2.0 Pro. It's a lot of the different benchmark like SODA. And the light model also is close to SODA scores.
That's cool. And what about the VOM biased benchmark?
Yes, so the VOM biased benchmark shows the cognitive and the perceptions, how good our model is.
Interesting. So I think that is part where we are able to kind of cognitively understand the body motion and tell whether someone is doing the right motion, right?
Yes. Okay. Also, our model is pretty good on the motion understanding. In the video understanding part, we also the TV bench SOTA and the motion bench SOTA.
It's good to see that our model is pretty much scoring the highest among all these vision-related benchmarks, right? Yeah. But also we think that that's not the end of the vision intelligence. What we feel really excited about is that we are able to combine the vision capability with computer use and the GUI use kind of agent capability as well, right?
Yes. So here is another one example about the computer use. So basically, we would like our model to build a free CAD application to build a cylinder with rectangle blocks. So let's see how
let's
it
have
builds.
A look. Yeah.
So model start to open the application and create the new project and start to choose the tool to build. So when he make a mistake, pop up the arrow and he withdraw and restart the task.
So this auto correction here in the process.
Yes, it's a self-recovery from the right track on the workflow.
I can see there are lots of steps ongoing, right, on the left side being marked. We are at step 60 almost.
Yeah, totally is 96 steps, and finally to finish the whole work. It's amazing.
Interesting. So now we have the 3D objects being constructed, all thanks to the model itself in an autonomous manner.
Yeah, exactly. So that's like we call the digital coworker in the future.
That's cool. You know, I used to work on some of the 3D construction work in CAD software. It was always a nightmare for me. Maybe this time I will do a much better job.
Yeah, you can use the prompt now.
Cool. And how do we see this being applied in the biotechnology as well?
Let's see another example. So the task we want to do is biotechnology research and ask for support. And we do the prompt here. and the model start to have the thinking, reasoning, to do the planning.
So I can see that the model is actually doing quite a deep level of reasoning and research, and then the problem solving, right, for this very sophisticated domain of research work.
Exactly. So for those long tail knowledge in our model, we still think it's pretty important. So it covered it all, and in the training process, so model can solve some long tail knowledge, expertise knowledge.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting to see that computer use is getting more and more mature and widely adopted in productivity things, right? Productivity environments.
Yeah, I think more and more tasks we can head up to our model, and the model can from end to end solve the problem.
Yeah. Scan the QR code here for us to connect with you and provide testing access to the Seed 2.0 model API. And today we also have the luck to invite another core partner of ByPlus. The team is called the Camel AI. They are very famous in the open source community, having some of the popular projects. And one of it is called the eAgent, Agent, the way we pronounce it. Let's have a look at how they use the Seed 2.0 Pro model in doing the computer use and the GUI tasks for all of the office workers. Let's give time to them.
Hi everyone, I'm Celine, the founding member of iGent and in charge of growth and operation. So we are very excited to be the launching partner of Seed 2.0 Pro. And then in this live sharing, our founding engineer Wendong and I will be showcase iGent using Seed 2.0 Pro. First of all, Wendong will introduce iGent and use two use cases on iGent operating CRM, ERP systems like SAP and Salesforce to talk about Seed 2.0 Pro's model capability under iGent scenario. And then I will be sharing you with a more personal workflow task that iGen can boost your productivity. Without further ado, let's get started.
Hello everyone, my name is Wendong, founding engineer of iGen AI. It's my great pleasure to be here to showcase how could we use Seed 2.0 Pro with iGent to handle with real-world complex tasks. First, please let me introduce iGent. So basically, iGen is an open source code work. It's one AI workforce on desktop that could automate your operation in any scenarios. You can download iGen directly in our official website, igent.ai, or you can also go to our GitHub repo to get the source code and run it locally. iGen is fully open source, so you can deploy it by yourself on your local desktop, and it also supports many different tools, MCP, skills. You can configure any model you want. So today we will run iGen with Seed 2.0 Pro. Okay, as you can see, here is the iGen desktop. After we log in, we can go to the setting part. Here we have the agent part. Under the agent part, we have the model setting. And in the middle, we have the model arc. You can just configure your own API key and also the model name you want and save it. And also set it as default. After we configure the model, then we can go back to the chat session. Here is a task I'm going to do a live demo with you. So in this task, I asked iGen to act as one enterprise automation consultant and help me execute one lead generation workflow. First, we'll ask iGen to start by running a search to find some large fintech or healthcare company in Singapore. This company should highlight the cost reduction, efficiency, or digital transformation. After we get this kind of information, we will ask iGen to fill in a lead form in our Salesforce system. We will also ask iGen to search more detailed information about this company's CTO or CIO. And finally, we will ask iGen to draft one email that introduces iGen with Seed 2.0 Pro and add this draft email to our email box using GWS CLI. Okay, here we go. iGen is based on Camel's multi-agent workforce system. After we get the initial complex task, this system will be able to decompose the task into many different subtasks. As you can see here, the original task has been decomposed into 4 subtasks. Then let's start the task. We can see that this task or the original task has been decomposed very well by using the Seed 2.0 Pro. And also the model have assigned the corresponding subtask into the right agent, and the agent is doing the execution to search information related to the Singapore healthcare company. As you can see, we have already get one task done. And the agent is also doing the browser to searching to go to our Salesforce system. As you can see here, all the action is done by the agent itself. It started to search some public information. After it gets the information, it go to the Salesforce system. Oh, quite impressive. It's running so fast. The agent based on SATE 2.0 Pro is trying to search something. It first checked whether the Singapore Health Service in Health is already in the system or not. After search, it didn't get any information. Then it clicks the leads button, will jump to the lead part. The agent opened another new tab. Let's see what the agent is trying to do. Okay, it's going to create one new lead. Awesome. Okay, it filled in the last name of the people agent just found and also filled in the company. Okay, also typed in the long description. Okay, here we go. The leads have already been created. We can go back to agent to check the status. As we can see, the agent also used the terminal tool to execute the code and already saved the draft email to our mailbox. Let's check the code. Okay, we can see here is some action agent did using the terminal tool. It shows the capability of SATE 2.0 Pro. It's very strong at doing coding related things. We can also check that. Okay, cool. Finally, the tasks have already been done. We also get the final summarized context, as you can see here. For each subtask, we also have a detailed completion report. If you want to check, we can also see the detailed execution. You can see the SATE 2.0 Pro did the task in a very tidy way. There's no redundant action, and it's very fast and very accurate. Okay, then let's go to our mailbox to check whether the draft email is ready there. Okay, cool. As you can see, we already have the draft email in our mailbox. If you are satisfied with the content generated by agent with SATE 2.0 Pro, we are ready to go. Agent is not only designed for the enterprise use, you can also use it in daily life. So next, my teammate Celine will introduce another use case. How could we use agent with SATE 2.0 Pro to boost your daily life efficiency?
Okay, thank you, Wendell, for sharing the SAP and Salesforce use case. Hi, everybody. I'm Celine, the founder member of Agent.ai, in charge of growth and operation. So today I will be sharing with you guys a more personal workflow using Agent powered by SATE 2.0 Pro. Now you can open Agent, and then you can just go to the model setting part under the agent session. And then you can find the model arc. And then you can configure SATE 2.0 Pro model details and then save it, and then set it as the default. Okay, in this task, we will using two skills. One is the doc skill, and then another one is the PPTX skill. So these two skills are actually in the example skill, and then also you can add your own skill too. Okay, we will be setting the trigger. So because this task usually will be recurrent every morning at some point, and then we'll be just inserting the name of the trigger and then the task prompt, as well as whether it's daily, weekly, or monthly, and then set the time. Also, you can set the expire date. So in Agent, we actually support two different trigger type, but here we will just use the schedule trigger. Enter your task prompt here. And in this use case, the task scenario is for the financial industry. So basically, analysts usually spend like 2 hours every morning to gather information of the market. In Agent, one prompt will be enough to finish this. And after gathering information, we also ask Agent to use Google CLI to send email to the team member. You can see that Agent here split the task into several subtasks. Okay, just start the task. And then here you can see that Agent assigned the task to developer agent, document agent, and browser agent. Okay, first of all, browser agent will search latest stock market information, for example, like Bloomberg or FactSet. Here you can see that the browser agent is running. Okay, here it opens up the website. And then you can click the tab to open it to see what agent is actually searching for. It's very transparent. And then on the right-hand side, you can also see what Agent is currently doing with all the detailed information on Agent. Yeah, so the task is done here. And then after that, so document agent will use the gathered information to summarize it as a Excel sheet as well as the PowerPoint. So here we also use the Excel skills and the PowerPoint generation skill to finish the task. And after that, the developer agent will then use the Google CLI tool to send the email to the team member. So here agent asks for the permission of Google CLI. And then you can just give the instruction. Yeah, so it will generate a completion report where you can see what agent have been doing and then what is done with a simple report. Yeah, let's go to the agent folder. So you can see the Excel sheet and the PowerPoint it generate. But for the effect, you need to go onto the local file to see the actual PowerPoint. And then I think we also ask agent to send the email to the team member. So you can see that 2 documents are attached under the email, and then it's been successfully sent to the team member. Thank you for watching for the Seed 2.0 Pro live sharing from Agent. And we are 100% open source, and it's an open source alternative to co-work. So if you're interested, you can go into our official website, agent.ai, or our GitHub if you want to run it locally. Thank you again, and see you guys.
That's pretty cool demo from eAgent on the
Yeah.
computer use side, right? I think agent, if we talk about agentic and agent things, it's probably hard to avoid OpenClaw.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
We have to talk about Claw. And we have actually talking about Claw, we have a guest that is Kilo team, right? Many people know them from the open source community as well.
Yeah.
They've made a product called Kilo
Coding.
Code, right? Coding,
Yeah.
right? But they've also launched the new product called Kilo Claw, which is a fully managed Claw product, also using multiple models. And we are also we're very excited to share that we are having the partnership with them, and they will be using our Seed 2.0 Pro model in their Claw product as well. Let's give time to them to also to show some cool real productivity related agent use cases from their Claw product.
Sure. Let's see.
ByteDance's new model, Dola Seed 2 Pro, is now available in Kilo, and we tested it in the Kilo VS Code extension, CLI, and KiloClaw, Kilo's hosted OpenClaw. You can select Dola Seed 2 Pro from the model selector here. We asked it to create a classic 2D platformer game with a modern feel and mechanics. Using code mode in Kilo, Seed 2 Pro generated a concise and organized to-do list and began executing the architectural and mechanical implementations. The result after this one prompt was impressive. Dola Seed 2 Pro created a colorful, aesthetic, and working 2D platformer game in about 2 minutes. Dola Seed 2 Pro is also available in the Kilo CLI. You can select it using the /models command. We used a repository with pre-planted bugs and asked Dola Seed 2 Pro to find and correct all the bugs. It read the project files, located 31 bugs, and created an exhaustive to-do list to prioritize the debugging process. In about 4 minutes and 30 seconds, it located, investigated, and corrected all 31 bugs in the repo with just one prompt. Finally, Dola Seed 2 Pro is also available in KiloClaw, Kilo's hosted OpenClaw. You can select it during provisioning or later from the settings. We asked KiloClaw to create a comprehensive morning briefing using skills that it hadn't yet installed that includes relevant news, weather reports, and email summaries. It installed the necessary skills, created the briefing, and delivered a well-executed report to my messaging app. Dola Seed 2 Pro is available today in Kilo. Try it in the VS Code extension, Kilo CLI, or KiloClaw, and let us know what you think.
Thanks to the Kilo team. That's a very interesting demo.
Yes.
Yeah. I think we talk about the vision capability, the computer use, and also how agent works, right?
Yes.
What's next?
Next, we will show a demo about the AI tongue. That's a good story from our team.
That's an interesting thing because we're entering the era of multi-agents.
Yes.
Real multi-agents acting in real time and simulating the world. Let's have a look. So we're trying to build an AI tongue with 4 agents to kind of work with each other, right? Each agent is using the Seed 2.0 Pro model.
Yes.
And they will be acting as different personality, right? And doing different things. First of all, they will be interacting and using the context, right, in real time to simulate what's going on.
So they are living in the town and talk to each other and have the interaction with each other.
And we can see that some of them have the some of the trust levels also changing based on the interaction, which is very,
so he
very
will like
interesting.
somebody or dislike somebody.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
During the interaction, right? It's actually changing. Yeah. So that's how multiple agents can actually interact with each other very easily. But also more interesting that as we can see, each of the personality, right? They are speaking different language.
Yeah, they have different language capability.
The model we have is good at speaking various languages and trying to communicate with each other, right? Cross the language.
It's native language speaker.
Yeah. That probably makes a tongue with international residents much more easily, right?
Yeah.
And when they try to do that communication in their own native language, right? It also helps them to communicate more efficiently without, kind of losing some of the terms across the language.
Yeah.
Now this interesting part emerge. These agents, after communication, they will be able to collaborate with each other.
That's the most important part is we can see the agents can work together and solve the same problem together.
Yeah. So they could be, one agent could be settling issue for the other agents if they have any fight, right? To just make it more peaceful in the town.
They are playing the different role and to solve the same problem together.
Yeah. And some of the agent will be helping the others to kind of measure the dimensions of a building, right? And also do the construction work, right? Do some of the so-called productivity work inside the virtual town itself.
Yeah.
And even more interesting is that what if in this virtual town, now things are pretty peaceful. What if there's a crisis going on? How do we deal with the crisis?
Let's see how the crisis management behind our model.
In this simulation, it so happened that there's a fire crisis going on, right? There's fire alarm, and the 4 resident agents, they need to work with each other and try to figure out a way to kind of settle it, right? Yeah. So someone is actually alerting, right? Making alert to others to say, oh, look, there's a fire going on.
Yeah.
Let's make some action, right?
And he speaks Spanish.
Yeah. Exactly. You can read Spanish, right? A little bit.
No, a little bit.
The model can, right? And then this person doing the notification will also delegate different tasks to the residents, right? To say, okay, let's do the X, Y, Z to kind of handle the fire crisis.
Yeah.
And they need to work together in order to solve it properly. So now they're taking action, and we can see that the fire is actually put out thanks to all these actions being done.
Yeah, so model have the tool use and to handle the crisis.
So we can see that the agents are now being smart and also collaborative enough in order to communicate with each other, take actions, and then also solve some real problems.
Yeah,
At least
exactly.
in the virtual town.
Yeah, in the virtual town, they are doing very well.
We definitely think these agents are able to solve real world problems, and even like for development tasks, for simulating a team of product and engineers working together as well.
Yeah.
I can't wait any further to see more people and the companies using the model to do more agentic tasks.
Me too. I would like to see our model can solve like harder and harder problem in the real world.
And we both believe, right, that's just a start, not the end of it.
Yeah, we will have the better and better model in this coming year. Yeah.
And thanks for watching. If you're excited and interested, feel free to visit the websites and experience Seed 2.0 with us together.
Thank you very much.
Scan the QR code here for us to connect with you and provide testing access to the Seed 2.0 model API.
Squeeze at the top for a second before letting go. This helps you better feel the chest contraction.
Scan the QR code here for us to connect with you and provide testing access to the Seed 2.0 model API.